Hi, I'm Roger Wakefield, Lead AP, the expert plumber, coming to you on YouTube Live. Happy Monday, everybody. If you're catching this on a replay and this is your first time here, go ahead and hang around and listen for a little bit. We have a lot of people that want to get in the trades, people that are already in the trades as apprentices and journeymen, maybe even people that want to own their own company or do own their own company. Got a lot of great questions coming in and going out, but if it's your first time here, man, hang around, check it out. If you're looking for something in particular, do me a favor, go over, check out, do the search bar, find what video it is you're looking for. But maybe next Monday at 3 o'clock Central Standard Time, jump on in, visit, see if this is anything you like. If you've got questions, please jump in, say hello, ask how everybody's doing. We're going to have fun. If you're in the live, man, do me a favor. We are going to have fun. Ask me some questions. Please keep it nice and clean and cool. And we're having fun. How's everybody doing today? How is the world where you're at? We got a lot of new things going on, coming up, which is fun because I was in Arizona this last week, and it was great because if y'all hadn't seen the new mask that we have over on our Teespring, down in our merch, check it out. It is literally like my face. And we're going to do a couple of other ones. We're going to do one where I'm making like the YouTube face, like. Then we're going to do another one where I'm like, probably had too many beers. Put those on the mask. Those are the mask that I wore, the one of just my face. And if you look down at the merch, you'll see it. It literally, every time I'd walk into a restaurant this week, people are like, oh my God, your mask is crazy. Like every time you talk, I keep looking at your mask, waiting for the lips to move. So really, it's pretty cool. I hope everybody had fun. If this is your first time in here, do me a favor and put #new, just so I know how many new people we have. We have been doing a lot of cool things here lately. And I want to say thanks to Will because he's really been working to get, number one, the merch set up the way it is. A lot of this stuff is stuff that we've had a lot of people asking us about. So we've really enjoyed doing it. So if you hadn't got a chance yet, check it out. We are also working on another YouTube channel. It's called The Trade Talks. We're going to be, and we've actually already started, but we're going to be doing the interviews from people that have written in the magazine. So if you have not subscribed yet, go over and check out the Trade Talks YouTube channel. Subscribe to it. If you haven't checked it out yet, go check out thetradetalks.com. Look at the first magazine that we've released. Really turned out good. Will wrote an article in it. I wrote an article. 5 or 6 other people did, some really good people. And there's a lot you can learn about growing your business, growing to become a better plumber or a better tradesperson. And yeah, it is, man, a lot of new people. That is really cool. Man, guys, look, we're having fun. And we happen to be in one of the coolest industries in the world. We get to build things and we get to fix things. So, sorry, have you ever found a shoe in a P-trap before? No, but I've pulled a foot out of a tub spout. It's almost the same. The neat thing about it is I love what we get to do. We're plumbers, pipe fitters, welders. I got all kinds of people in here, HVAC techs, roofers. Man, the trades are phenomenal. And I really think here in the future, it is going to be a big, big deal. And, those of y'all that weren't listening before the coronavirus hit, I was literally telling people that I think within the next 5 years, plumbers are going to be making $100 an hour on a check. And I know that sounds funny, but with supply and demand, I think it's coming. Want to say hello to Joe Hollins. How are you watching this while trimming out a house? Man, that's great because I got to go look at, I normally don't do a lot of new construction, but there is a really cool house. Any of y'all that know Matt Reisinger, he came to Dallas a while back and looked at this house. There's a commercial general contractor that's building one in University Park right down from Lamar Hunt. And he started building it for himself, and he thought, man, this is really a lot of fun. I'm enjoying doing this. and he's now going to put it on the market. But I'm telling you, this is a freaking cool house. What's your opinion of lead and oakum? Do you do a lot of lead and oakum? MB, I'm going to tell you, I really probably hadn't done a lead and oakum joint in about 35 years, meaning I've actually poured a 12-inch joint in a chase on a riser on a job that we did. And, it's really cool when you do jobs that you never forget them. And the cool thing about that is Julie hears my stories all the time. Every time we get down by a certain building, I'm like, oh, by the way, I helped build this. And she's like, I know. I heard every time we're down here. Well, she calls me today and says, hey, I'm going down to your first plumbing job. I said, oh, my God, the Wells Fargo building. And it is. Caleb, this guy makes me want to become a tradesman. Man, I love that because, look, I get some of the greatest comments. And I've been plumbing for 40 years. So I do have a lot of experience. And Daniel Cifuentes, man, welcome electrician. We normally don't allow y'all in here, but we will make an exception for today. And I'm joking. I love it when all the trades get in here. Oh, here we go. Janet Pratt, how are you? German plumber also here. Excited to see how you Americans get stuff done. Man, we just hang out and chill and talk about it, and hopefully somebody else puts it in. No, it really is not that way. Janet, it's good to have you here. Man, I appreciate you jumping in. What time is it over in Germany right now? I see we have the amazing Julie Wakefield and Paul Peck both in the house, two of my moderators. I'm pretty sure Grayson's in here or will be soon, and Will's taking care of things behind the camera for me. Great to have all the help from everybody. But, the cool thing about it is, going back to the lead and oakum joint, we don't do a lot of that anymore. I have to do them. If we ever do them now, literally we go in, we just melt out the lead and go to a neoprene gasket, a tie seal gasket, something like that. So there's a lot of different things that we can do. Elliot Yates from England and John Barnes in the UK also. Man, good to have everybody. Man, Belgium. Man, what is going on? We got some people from around the world in here. I love this. Chris Daly says, 4-inch cast iron pipes at our church, under foundation and driveways. No breaks or roots, but pipe is rough and has scale. Any value in descaling? You know what? We just literally got a new tool in today that I'm wanting to play with. It is the rigid flex shaft. And, man, I'm wanting it just for that reason. Those of y'all that have not seen Ivan Correa, a Chicago student, man, are you in the union or PHCC? What are you doing? If you've seen the video we did about the plumber that poured concrete in the lead bins, and we have to change it out. So if y'all have seen that, you understand why I'm wanting to run the flex shaft down it with the chain to see if we can kind of break up any concrete. And I hate to say this, on the inside of a ABS pipe, because we don't use a lot of that here in Texas. It's either PVC or cast iron. So, man, that's something I'm wanting to try. So is there any value in descaling? Yes. I think running a brush, running a chain, anything in you can down there to help clean it up. Chris, I think that's perfect. So, Chris, thank you very much. Paul Nevins, Arizona plumber in the house. Love your channel. Like to listen while you're driving to the next job. Man, I love that because the cool thing is, man, I was in Phoenix and Scottsdale this last week. Julie and I hopped on a plane, went to the Grand Canyon, thoroughly enjoyed it. I mean, man, we had a blast. Joseph Lalibert, good to have you in here again. Roger, love the show still. Man, I am glad. Truck driver by trade, still love the mustache. I tried to grow one once, but my stepmom grows a better one. Hey, does she need a job as a plumber? I mean, I need somebody that can look tough. Joseph, I like that. Thank you very much. The cool thing is, number one, I love what I do. I love being a plumber. I love getting to talk about the trades. I love getting to recruit and help people get in the trades. And, man, I do. It's really cool to me because I think the trades can help a lot of people. And something Julie and I talk about all the time is learning your way up. And I really think anybody can get out of any situation with an education. They can learn to get better. They can learn to grow, get more education, bring more value to the company you work for, make more money, learn your way up. Dwayne Brown from Jamaica and interested in becoming a professional plumber. Man, good for you. Number one, welcome to the show. I sure do appreciate it. The neat thing about it is, look, plumbing is something that you can learn and literally you can do anywhere in the world. And I had people ask me that here a while back. They're like, look, if I learn plumbing in Canada or over in the UK, can I come to the United States and work as a plumber? And the answer is absolutely. The plumbing trade is something that you can do. It's everywhere. Now, you may make a lot more money in one part of the world than you will another. Different people value different things more or less, and I understand that. But, the cool thing about it is, Dwayne, man, you can get a job anywhere. And if you learn plumbing over there and get really good at it, there are people that will pay you anywhere in the world to come work. And, in the United States, we're looking for plumbers all the time because it's hard to find good ones. And you notice I'm kind of going through the questions a little quicker today for Will. It's really good because, man, as we got down to the end last night, Will's like, look, I'm on page 7 of 30. So I'm trying to speed it up a little bit. We're going to start doing something new, and I'm going to talk about it in a little bit. We've implemented the memberships. And, again, thanks to Will for doing that. The neat thing about it is we're going to start, once we get over 10, 20, 50 members.
Yeah, once we get enough. Once we get a group.
We're going to start the first hour from 3 to 4 will be members only. That way they can jump in here. And I see we have the Elegant Plumber in here. Good to see you, ma'am. The cool thing is with YouTube, they let you do neat things. And the memberships is something that we've talked about doing. We finally started getting so busy really last week that we couldn't answer all the questions. There was no way.
Yeah, I mean, they come in so fast.
Yeah, they do. And then people get upset and they're like, well, do I have to give a super chat to ask a question? And you don't. Will's really good, though. If somebody does a super chat, he moves them to the top, and that helps take care of them. But what we've looked at maybe doing, and we are doing it now, is we created the memberships. So, the memberships, literally, it gives you a special emoji next to your name. It gives you special emojis that you can use, and you get into the members-only membership. And the way things are going, we'll probably start that here in the next few weeks. But the first hour of the live will be members only. So, man, you get to get in here, you get to talk and ask questions and spend time really doing that. And then we'll just jump into it and run like
By
crazy.
Members only, you mean the chat will be members only?
The chat will be members
but
only.
Anybody can come watch.
Yes.
But after the first hour, or for the first hour, it'll just be members only chat.
Yes. And the cool thing about it is that gives them the opportunity to maybe even ask more than one question.
Absolutely. Ask, sometimes deeper questions too, if they need more specific advice.
Absolutely, which is cool. Paul Peck, good to see you in here, brother. I know I still hadn't called you. We really need to talk. Jimmy Sanchez says, Roger, can you give a quick overview of venting and how and what causes siphons to occur on drains? Absolutely. Number one, we use P-traps, not S-traps. An S-trap is literally the water goes down, it comes back up, and goes right back down. If you don't have a vent allowing the atmospheric pressure in, that trap will get sucked dry, meaning you pour water in it and literally when it all starts going down, it fills up that line so that when it comes up and back down that ass trap, it'll just suck all this down. And I know that's a tough way to put it, but due to time, that's kind of the best you get. But if you've got a P-trap and your vents run out the roof and they're getting sucked out, literally you need to go in and clean your vent out. Run a snake down it, run a cable down it, run something down it to get some of whatever's in there clogging it up. But Jimmy, I hope that tells you about it. The purpose of a P-trap and S-trap, and I know some people still use S-traps, but the purpose of a P-trap is to keep the sewer gases from getting back in the house where you live. It balances the atmospheric pressure and makes a big, big difference. Sam Ham, how are you? Good to see you in here again. Let's talk about floor-mounted back outlet toilets. I hate them. All codes should ban them. They serve no purpose except to irritate the plumber. And I'll tell you what, and let me play devil's advocate on it. Rear outlet, a bigger, fuller size. You don't create that S-trap with the vent on the internals. But most rear outlets, too, have a 4-inch outlet. I like them for commercial reasons. The only time I've ever, if I'm not mistaken, installed those is in a Kroger where you had a lot of people coming in, patrons coming in to use the toilets. Look, they're a pain, but man, you know, it's something where you've really got to have precision in all your work. So Sam Ham, look, man, I agree with you. They are a pain, but man, after you've done a few of them, it's like, okay, look, I got this. And it's a lot of fun. I love doing things that are different. Roger, put it in a way that a third grader can understand it. Man, you've been watching too many of my videos or hearing me talk somewhere, because I try to explain it to where it makes sense like that. Thanks to, who was that? Steve Jobs.
That's right.
Steve Jobs. When I write my speech, I write it where a third grader can understand it, and man, everybody gets something out of it.
Check this out, Roger. Joseph Lalibert said you were in a YouTube ad, and he clarified later that it was an ad with other channels.
You know, Joseph, I have not seen that yet, and I heard about this. Literally, and Joseph, tell me when you saw it, or tag Will, or put at Roger Wakefield when you do it, and it'll highlight it for him. I was told about that about a month ago. YouTube was advertising how you can use YouTube to grow your business. And I think, and Joseph, you might make or tell us what you think. I think you had to pick like what area of the country you're in. And mine was one that they brought up for Texas. And I don't know if they had 50 of them in 50 different states or regions or what, but somebody told me about that. It says, man, it's so cool you're in the YouTube ad. I'm like, wait, what ad?
Yeah, that's interesting. I didn't know that.
Yes.
Cool.
I've never seen it though. So, and anybody who knows what you were looking for when you found it, you think they target me since I'm a plumber, but anyway, maybe not. Best way to clear lime scale and hard water buildup in a toilet bowl. I buy tablets from the supermarket, but at 4 pounds a go, have to be a DIY fizz to clear it. Okay, so this is a Rogers personal best plumbing hack. Take a turkey baster, the syringe that has the fat thing on it, and literally take a cleaning gel like you would spray down inside of a toilet, put it inside the turkey baster, stick your hand down in there, feel where the holes are, and squirt that gel up inside. A lot of that stuff will break that down. So nice butt dim. Man, that should take care of it for you. And you may have to do it more than once if there's a lot of calcium built up or whatever. If there's too much of that, what you might do is take like some CLR or something that will bust that up, put it in with that gel, squirt it up in there, and then you may need to take like Q-tips or something, stick in there to help keep the gel up in there. And Ruben Flores, don't worry about it. We'll start all over. So if this is your, okay, never mind. Anyway, Q-tips may be enough if you squirt the gel up in there, stick the Q-tips in, and that'll keep that stuff from oozing out overnight. But I would think if you'll do that a couple of nights in a row, it'll really help everything flush good. Happy Thanksgiving from Canada, and Tony Salvadori, happy Thanksgiving to Canada. Hope y'all have a great day up there. I've got a lot of friends up in Canada, and number one, some of them are in YouTube. Number two, a lot of them are in the trades. And y'all got, what is it, Kick-Ass Careers? You got a bunch of girls up there that are really doing good in the trades. And man, I tell you what, I love watching them and what they do. You know, Canada started recruiting females for welding. And man, I love keeping track of it because I believe that they're in the union, but man, they are doing a fantastic job. And I've tried reaching out to, what's his name, Trudeau. About getting up there and helping recruit. Look, Canada's not the only place looking for plumbers. We're all looking for plumbers. And man, anytime I can help get people into the trades, I'm all over it. Chuckley, 54494. I was just in the hospital for the birth of our little girl. Congratulations. That is cool. When we were there, every time someone flushed in our room or the next, it sounded like a jackhammer. Good Lord. What causes that? It could be a water hammer. It could be something down in the pipes. Normally, that's a water hammer noise that you get. So, Chuckley, man, that probably is what it is. I will say this, though. Look, congratulations on the birth of your daughter. Maybe you name her Flusher or something, just to kind of commemorate the Will saying no. Okay. All right. I thought I had a good idea, but Crapper, like after John Crapper, probably not. Okay. Anyway, man, it could be a lot of things. Normally, if it's a jackhammer type noise, it's a water hammer, and that's just air in the pipes and causing problems. Warrior King Cross says, just a quick question. My basement is 3 rooms, about 1,100 square feet. Before I pay $20K to have my entire basement jackhammered, how many drains should be in my floor? You have 7 now. Man, I think if you've got 7, you should have enough. How big are they, and what kind of problem are you having? Is it that you have enough drains, but maybe not a big enough pump to get it all pumped out? And man, I'm not sure, but I would think 7 drains in an area that big, it's 1,100 square feet. Think about it, 8x8 bathroom, 64 square feet, has, one little 2-inch in it. And I don't know, I would think 7 would be plenty big enough for a room that size. Seabart, 1987. Is 4:30 too early to crack a beer asking for a friend? Are you talking 4:30 a.m. or p.m.? Because, big difference there. And if you're out on the water fishing, that kind of also contributes. So,
I think in 2020, it doesn't matter. I don't think there is a too early.
Well, it's 4:30 somewhere.
Yeah.
All there is to it. Check, please. So, no, not necessarily. Gordon Adams says, 3rd-year apprentice, should I wait to get my journeyman or go into union now? Really want to be union, but I don't want to have to do their school since I'm almost done with non-union. Gordon, I'll ask you, you said, should you get your journeyman now? Where are you at that you can get your journeyman in 3 years? And I'm just asking, look, I think, to be honest, we could create journeyman in 2 years or a year if we did it right. What I would say is that if you can get your license first before getting in the union, it's probably going to be better for you. You're not going to have to go through their training, but if you have not got good training, it's going to show up really quick. Meaning they're going to look at you and be like, dude, you got your journeyman, you don't even know how to do this. So different ways to look at it. Look, I used to be an instructor in the union, so I like their training program. I've looked into PHCC. I think what they're doing is amazing. So, man, I'm having fun at it. But don't just think that you're going to walk in the union with, just because you have a license and everybody's going to treat you good if you don't know what you're doing. I think that getting your license first could be good if you've had good training. If you haven't, luckily for me, look, when I joined the union, I think I was one of like 60-something people while they were doing a blitz trying to bring some plumbers in. After 2 or 3 months, I was one of 2 people left. After the end of the year, I was the only one left. So out of 62 people, I'm the only one that made it through, I guess, is the best way to look at it. What's the most fun you've had on a job? Mr. Dorset, 69. I will tell you this. I think one of the coolest jobs I've ever done is Great Wolf Lodge here in Grapevine, Texas. And it's sad because I've actually reached out to them and asked them, I would love to go back in and video that. So if any of y'all know people at Grapevine Mills Mall or Grapevine Great Wolf Lodge, do me a favor and reach out to them and say, hey, man, there's a plumber wants to video your stuff. And it would really be a cool video because I built that place. And now that we're doing videos the way we are, I just think going in, y'all see me do the worst plumbing job ever. I've got a few different ideas for the best plumbing job ever, and that is really one that I think would be cool to do. Are you going to do another plumbing life hacks video? Yes, we're going to. Look, we love doing those videos, so yes, we are. Larry Perea. I live in Washington, North Carolina. Had to call a plumber this weekend. He makes $90 an hour. Man, guys, it's the future. It's where we're at. When I said a while ago, I really think in the next 5 years, plumbers will be making $500. I mean, $500 an hour. I'm gonna quit doing video. I'm gonna become a plumber. That I said plumbers will be making $100 an hour on the check. I mean, I really believe that here in the North Texas area, that's what they're going to be making. So, Larry, man, look, the trades are great, and with less people getting in the trades and more people retiring, supply and demand is going to go up, and plumbers are going to be asking for a lot more money. 4 or 5 years ago, 5.5 years ago, I was making over $50 an hour here in Dallas. So, I mean, trust me, you can do whatever kind of deal you want, make your own deal, but learn your way up. Increase your knowledge, increase your wisdom, increase your licenses, increase what you can do, and that will increase your revenue. I'm installing messed up, Will. I'm installing an irrigation system, has an expansion tank between the boiler and the radiant loops. Should I also install a water hammer arrestor? If needed, where should it be? I don't deal a lot with expansion tanks because we don't have to install them on systems that aren't closed loop. And we don't do any radiant loops here hardly at all. I know that we do some. But my thought process is if you can get all the air out of the radiant loop, you may not need it. But if you do need it, so you shouldn't need a hammer arrestor on a radiant loop because a radiant loop literally is for, let me correct that. A water hammer arrestor is for where water can just slam off, meaning a solenoid valve. Quick on, quick off, quick on, quick off. And that's what makes it do that. So I would think that a radiant loop would either be continuous or you hit a switch and it slowly comes on. Man, if there's a solenoid valve, pop on, pop off, stuff like that, man, let me know because that's different. Got a super chat here from the trucker. I recently have been watching your videos looking for new job ideas. What do you think would be great steps to start a plumbing career? You know what, depending on where you live, we literally, and I say we, when I was down in the union, I mean, I literally saw truck drivers come in and they're like, hey, look, I've decided I want to get off the road. I want a good job. I want to do this. I want to do this. And man, it's not a bad career. Contact the union, contact PHCC, contact just a local plumbing company. If you have not gone through the free mini course yet that I did, it'll kind of ask you what kind of plumber you want to be. Do you want to be commercial? Do you want to be residential, union or non-union, service or new construction? So there's a lot of different things and a lot of different ideas. I know, Paul. Man, I meant to grab it. Paul's the first one to even notice it. The big green pipe wrench is gone. I had a photo shoot last week, and I did a job interview later. I'm looking for somebody to hire. And this person asked me when we were in my other studio, oh, is that the big wrench? And I'm like, oh my God, it's not, it's at home. But I need to put that one on the shelf, and then I forgot all about it. So anyway, Paul Peck, it's funny that you saw that. Jess Tatorica, I got to get my mustache secrets. Man, I'll tell you what, it's funny because, and Julie laughs at me because, I wash my mustache, I shampoo it, I put conditioner on it when I go out and leave. I mean, I trim it once a week. I put oil on it to comb it and style it and keep it. So a lot of things. And Will, how many people we got in here? I've got the live chat, but I don't see and don't even have my phone, so I can't even look.
I'm showing 185.
185.
But the likes, oof.
Not good.
The likes are kind of weak.
Am I sucking today? Is it bad?
I don't know who it is, man. It's someone. But we got to get these likes up, y'all. I mean, come on.
Well, see, if YouTube thinks you don't like me, they'll end up just letting me not go live. Not really, but that was pretty funny. Do plumbers hate drywall installers? Paul, would you like to answer that one? And I don't think plumbers do hate drywallers. I think that not unless it's a drywaller that just is like sticking screws and everything on purpose, and most of them aren't like that. But the funny thing is that normally drywallers hate plumbers because plumbers have leaks behind the wall, even if they didn't cause them. So there's a lot of different things to do. Christopher Segovia, I'd love to collaborate with the Drain Addict. Problem is, he's in Australia, and it would cost Will and I quite a bit of money to get over there and video it. But back to McChicken real quick. And I don't hate drywallers at all. Actually, Paul Peck is a great friend of mine. Love him to death. And, he's a drywaller. But cool thing about it is, look, in the trades, it's kind of funny. We all talk trash about each other. But, man, at the end of the day, we all understand how hard it is what each one of us do. I'm just lucky that I became a plumber. I mean, I had no idea that plumbers were the most attractive, handsome men on the job. But once I walked on, I knew it. Two-speed. Hey, buddy. Been working on cars my whole life and getting tired of it. Do you think changing to become a plumber is a smart move? Kind of scared because we got 3 kids and another on the way. Here's the thing. And two-speed, I would tell you this. I think in the long term, as a plumber, you can probably make more money. Residential service plumbers make great money, but they work for it. And I mean, they really, really work for it. The thing is, like, I don't know what you're making as a mechanic right now, but what I will tell you is you may start off lower as an apprentice in the beginning, but two-speed, the thing is, it won't take you too long to get up there. Somebody talking a while ago about North Carolina or Florida, a plumber making $90 an hour. It doesn't surprise me. New York and California, their plumbers make great money in the union with benefits, all kinds of things. It's just, man, it's how quick do you have to have your money and what do you have to make right now? Tyler Neighbor says, I love your channel.
This was supposed to be, I think, paired along with a $24.99 super chat.
Oh, is that? I see the $24.99 up top. Thank you very much. Look, and we get asked this all the time. Do you have to give a super chat to ask a question? And you don't. But it does, as you see, get moved you right straight up to the top real quick. And that's part of why we're doing the memberships. Anybody signs up to become a member here in the next week or two, the first hour of this show is going to be members only. And means anybody can watch, anybody can listen, but you can't ask questions, you can't comment, you can't do this, you can't do that. And we do this so that the members can actually have time to get in and ask more questions, maybe ask deeper questions and stuff like that. So thank you very much for the super chat. I do appreciate it. And the thing is, look, and I want to go back to this just a second ago. Anybody can get in to be a plumber. And take out the word plumber, electrician, roofer, mechanic, drywaller, HVAC tech, whatever you want to be. Here's what I will tell you is that, and we got our first member, C-Bart 1987, member number 1. You got to love it.
Shout out to C-Bart.
C-Bart, you got to love it. Welcome, Mr. Tuber Turd. So, the thing is, and guys, and I'll tell you all right now, I'm reading a book called The Dip by Seth Godin. And here's what I want to tell you is, no matter what you want to be, try to be the very best. Whether you're going to be a plumber, electrician, roofer, whatever it is, be the very best. And it makes all the difference in the world. If you walk in with that attitude, you are constantly trying to get better. You're constantly trying to improve. And if you do that every day, man, it is amazing. Joseph Lalibert says, thank you for the super chat, first of all. Hey, Roger, heard through the grapevine, since you spend so much on your mustache, Julie wants a new Pandora bracelet. So everybody needs to rewatch all your videos 3 times before Christmas. Joseph, man, I love the way you think. Michelle Abatz, we got a new member. Welcome. Good to have you here. Absolutely. I
need to
love
make
it.
a sound for that when that goes off.
I know.
We
We got to talk to Travis McP, MCP, Travis MCP. He does that. He makes those for Nick and D and them.
Oh, nice.
Some cool stuff. And I told him, last chat we were in, I said, hey, I need to hire you. He said, no, brother, all you got to do is ask. So, Travis, I got to reach out to you, brother.
There's certain softwares that I've seen people use where when people become members and things like that, you can have things pop up on screen and things like that with their name and everything. I'll look into that, see what we can figure out.
See, we're trying to do some cool things. So Joseph, man, I love the way you're thinking. Matter of fact, with what Julie wants for Christmas, everybody may need to watch the videos like 5 or 6 times or something like that. You know, she's high maintenance, but God, she is so worth it. Number one, look, new member super chat, guys. Look, I love y'all, and it's so cool because I took a screenshot earlier, and I wish I brought my Michaela. See, I can read too. I like that, Michaela. Thank you very much, Michaela. I like that. So the cool thing is, with the messages I get to help recruit people into the trades. And I have people send me messages and say, hey, look, man, I love what you're doing. I love the fact that I'm in plumbing for a year because I started listening to you. And I do. And I love that. Okay, Michaela, I don't know if you've noticed the little tuber turd that you have next to your name now, but that is so cool.
And it'll change the longer you become a member.
I know, yeah. When you become a member, you get the change.
It'll go.
You get
from that.
Number one, the name went green.
Yes.
So special recognition right off the bat.
Yes.
So Seabats and Michaela, thank y'all very much. That's just a neat deal. So cool. Thank y'all very much. And look at Julie. Michaela, yes. I like that. Julie, don't you be laughing at me. I know you are high maintenance. You know the. Nolan DeFleur. Any tips on soldering and brazing? We're just learning how to in my tech school, but we have to wear a mask all day. Absolutely. Number one, man, we've got videos about that. And I'm telling you because, especially the brazing one, and it's so funny because somebody left a comment there and said, if you worked for me, I'd fire you. I said, well, I'd be the stupidest thing you ever did. I used to work for a fire protection company, and the thing about it is I used to braze all day. I mean, like 300 joints a day. And literally we would roll around on a scissor lift with all these drops for a sprinkler system. They'd already be T-drilled, stick them up in there, braze them, go to the next one. And I got to tell you, man, I love brazing. But I don't do it to be beautiful. I do it not to leak. And don't get me wrong, I don't want it to be ugly, but man, soldering and brazing, practice. That is the best tip I'll give you. Go buy some copper, go buy some couplings, go buy some flux and solder and sandpaper and all that. Start with a clean joint, get it great before you start. It makes it better. So, love it. Watch those videos. Leave me comments there. Guys, we're getting so many comments a day now, I don't get to reply. And I say that. I'm still replying to them. It's just, it doesn't seem like I'm getting to very many. But yeah, leave comments, ask questions, jump in here and ask questions. It's great. Max, why are my toilet pipes unable to process toilet paper? Either there's a blockage in there, there's a break in there. They could be scaly if they're old cast iron pipes. There's a lot of different things it could be. Normally what I would tell people would be get a hydrojetter. Run a hydrojetter down it. clean the pipes out. If there's an issue and it's not very clean inside, and what I mean, like if it's old cast iron pipes and they're scaly, anything can stick to it. Toilet paper, female products, baby wipes, things like that. About the only thing that we tell people it's okay to flush down the toilet other than pee, piss, puke, and paper is in toilet paper is, the Cottonelle flushable wipes. We've tested them and they literally dissolve. So, man, if it can't process toilet paper, though, it's probably not going to process those either. So, Max, I would say that maybe looky there, we have a new member, Mr. Paul Peck. I love that.
Shout out Paul Peck.
Shout out to Paul Peck. And guys, look, Paul Neal, the Urban Explorer, sometimes Juliet Miranda jumps in here. Man, there's certain channels that I say, look, if you have not done it, go over and subscribe to their channels. Look, Paul creates great information, and I go watch him and I learn. So, man, go over, check it out, subscribe to him, Neil, Juliet Miranda, Construction Cronies. Man, there's a lot of people that get in here that are just really, really good. But Paul, thank you, brother. Appreciate that. Okay, Deontay Richardson, thank you for the super chat. Says, hi, Raj. I'm currently ranked number 3 at my local union, so just waiting and learning until the next class starts up. Man, I think that's great. Deontay, where are you located at? Joseph Lalibert, I'm a proud tuber turd. Man, you got to love that. I love my turd members. So Deontay, what I would say is study what you can, learn what you can. And I used to tell first-year apprentices this. Number one, get in and learn as much as you can. And, God, I'm going to go back to that book I'm reading, Seth Godin, The Dip. If you don't want to be the very best, why not? And the funny thing about it, Zephiel, we need to find a way to make her a member because trust me, she pays for it. Unfortunately, she has to hang out with me all day, every day. But I tell you what, I love it. But Deontay, here's what I'll tell you is, and you're going to walk in classes that you're going to be like, why am I here? This is boring. This is frustrating. This is whatever it is. But I'll tell you this. Always try to be the very best you can be and do that all the way through. Because number one, you're going to find out about apprentice competitions. You're going to find out about a bunch of cool things. But the thing that I would tell you most is always try to be the very best. And if you're walking in with that attitude and you're constantly working on that, it's going to be a big deal and it's going to pay off for you. And I heard it put a really great way today. And literally, Seth Godin says, hey, when you want to hire somebody, and if I tell my office manager, if I tell Amber, hey, give me 3 resumes to look at. I wouldn't say give me the 3 worst. Give me the 3 mediocre ones. I'm going to say, hey, you look through them and give me the 3 best ones that you have. So think about that every time that you go to class. Do you want to be the very best? Are you trying to be the very best? Because if you're not, my question is, why not? And, man, I think it's great that you're getting in, and I love that. But call me in 5 years or jump in here in 5 years and send me a message and say, hey, look, I am the best. I graduated as the apprentice of the year, and I've gone to the national competition, whatever it is. But, man, getting into the trades right now is amazing. And if you try to be the very best, in 5 years, you're going to be set apart from so many people. You're going to love it. Jaffa 1002, if that's your birthday, 1002, mine's 1008. So Jaffa says, my goal is to get a degree in theoretical physics and then train as a plumber. Most of my mates think I'm an idiot, but what's your opinion? Well, my thing is, how long is it going to take you to get a degree in theoretical physics. And if you do have that degree, why not get a job with that degree instead of becoming a plumber? And this is just me asking questions, because my thought is, with a theoretical physics degree, I think you can probably become an engineer pretty easy and might even make more money. But if you eventually want to open your own company one day, it may be nice to have that. So I understand. So I'm not going to say you're an idiot, but my question would be why? Is there any reason or any way that theoretical physics degree is going to help you in your career, help you learn more, move further, do better? Is it going to help increase your value as a plumber? Now, I can see why plumbing may help increase your value in theoretical physics, because you're going to understand things that some people don't know. Martin Kahn, thank you for the super chat. Hey, Roger, just switched from accounting to plumbing, but I've never worked with tools a day in my life. Can I still do plumbing and learn? Absolutely. Guys, here's the deal. Anybody, I love that. Elegant Plumber is a Libra also. Here's the cool thing. If you want to learn, you can learn anything you want to learn. Look at me. 2.5 years ago, I knew nothing about social media. Now I do. If you want to learn, you can learn anything you can. Champ Ross, what's your favorite part of Ferguson? You know, it's customer service. And it's funny because I talked to them about that through the whole interview process, talking to them about sponsorship and different things. But, and they've got a service manager, or used to be a regional manager over here for me. And the cool thing about it was his customer service is phenomenal. He's a nice guy, does everything he can to bend over backwards to help us and make things right if there's ever a problem. And pretty daggum cool. Sorry, I saw that real quick. Martin Kahn, if you're willing to learn, you can do whatever you want to do. And I think it's phenomenal that we can do that. If you want to be a doctor, God, you can go to school. I saw an article on Sunday Morning here a while back. Guy waited till his kids had graduated, then he went back to school. He was a mechanic, so he understood customer service better than most people. Went to school, became a doctor, and man, so cool. And I see we have Neil, the Urban Explorer, in here. How we doing, brother? Good to see you. Spirit of Order says, hey, Roger, do you have any tips on being an electrician? Yeah. And go through and watch my videos. Sorry, read. Go through and watch my videos. And I've had electricians and HVAC people both jump in and say, hey, I've watched your videos because everything you talk about can be good, can be used in any trade and good for the technician. So, yeah, watch all you can. Matter of fact, Dustin Stelzer, remember him? Dustin reached out to me today and says, hey, I want to collab. He's got 2 YouTube channels, Journeyman to Electrician, or Journey to Master, and Electrician U. And, man, really, really good. Adam Sir says, I swear you were my neighbor off Beltline and Plano. Much love from Dallas. Well, number one, I'm in Dallas. I'm actually in Richardson, so I'm not far from Beltline and Plano. Adam, I actually go over there a lot. I used to go to W.W. Fairfields. I used to be a bouncer there. Used to shop at Richardson Square Mall, and we actually go over there for lunch every now and then at Meteor Burger and sometimes Taco Bell. So, Adam, sorry, good to have you in here. Yes, we were. Paul Peck, we were talking bad about you. Or Paul Peck, we were talking bad about Neil. Sorry about that. And no, we really weren't. So, Felix Rodriguez, thank you very much. And we had a member join, Will, and I can't see the name on that one, the one that's on top of the screen right now.
Oh, you can't see the name of it?
I can't see the name. You got to hover it over it or something.
Is it too big, maybe?
No, there we go. It just came up in the deal. Talon. Oh, and that's a super chat. There was a member up a while ago. I couldn't see the name.
Let me see if I can find that. I didn't see a member.
Cool. Yeah, it
for
just
a
popped
while.
up and it just said member. It didn't have anybody's name in it. Hello, Mr. Wakefield. Is the fire protection industry good to start a company in? I'm currently in a fire sprinkler fitter apprenticeship because many plumbing apprenticeships weren't taking in people. Felix, here's what I'll tell you. And to me, fire protection systems, and I'm not going to say it's not good, but that's a business that there's a lot of regulation in. The fire marshal's involved. There's a lot going on in it. My thought, I'm a plumber, and here in Texas, I have the WSPSS, Water Supply Protection Sprinkler Specialist, and I'm pretty close on it. Here's the thing. The cool part about it is I think pretty soon houses are going to be requiring fire protection systems in all sizes. And if you get in, learn everything you can at the fire sprinkler company you're at now, but also look at it in the future as if you want to do it for residential, what do you need to learn? And do all you can and grow. There we go. We've got a David. He's the best plumber. I love that. Service work anyways.
Neil said that maybe we missed Joseph Lalibert became a plumber, but that was like 10 minutes ago. Maybe we missed it. I don't know. If we did miss it, welcome.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. If we've missed somebody that's a member, put your deal in there and say, hey, I'm a member. If I didn't say anything to you, and I will definitely say thank you. Talent again says, dumb question. Plumbing is a trade. Not a dumb question. But I never hear anything about being traded for anything but money. Is there an industry trade swap site? And there may not be, but I'll tell you what, it's a good thing, or it could be a good thing. I've got a guy that jumps in here every now and then leaves comments. He says, look, I'm a plumber. He says, and I got a friend that's an electrician. He said, he never pays for plumbing. I never pay for electrical. And the cool thing is you can kind of work out with your friends or whatever you want to do. And do you have to pay for it? Do you have to report it? That's kind of up to y'all. But the cool thing is, man, work for good people and with good people, and that way you've got them to use, and that could be a really good thing for you. We call it the trades because plumbing, electrical, and HVAC is a trade. It's a profession, a trade, something like that. It's not really just that we trade anything other than money. But how do you pay your bills? With money. So that's why we kind of do it the way we do. I will donate $100 if Roger reads a Christmas story during Christmas time. So my question is it any particular story or not? So Vladimir Takashev, man, I know I got that wrong. Takashivli. Would you prefer, I normally don't go on. Would you prefer long talk with client over long real work? Don't you hate to talk to people? What is better, talks or work? P.S. Hi from Russia. Hello, how are you?
He also sent a super chat as well.
Yeah, I saw the question right under it. That's why I read it. Here's my thing is I don't mind talking to customers, but then again, to me, Vladimir, that's part of selling the value of what we do. We're not the cheapest plumbing company. And what I would like to do is explain the value to them. That way they're happy about it. If I just go in and tell them, hey, it's a lot of money to fix your problem, and they don't understand it, then if I'm not there very long and charge them a lot of money, they may not realize that the part cost a lot of money, or even what I did if I didn't take the time to tell them. So I don't mind communicating to the customer and talking with them as long as they're happy. And man, it's a kind of a funny way to put it, but I guess that's my big deal is I don't mind talking to customers as long as I feel like they're getting value out of it. And the neat thing about it is, yeah, communicating with them is good. But then again, let me tell you this. We literally spend a lot of time each week teaching our customers communication, to teach them skills, to teach them, man, how to talk to their customers. And it's something, if you're not trained at it, it can be intimidating and hard to do and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, man, if you're doing it right, it can be pretty cool. GP 1207, what is the messiest end of day story you have as a plumber? Oh, man. Probably the worst one. And it's funny because I used to tell people this all the time. And GP 1207, it's a good question. I literally remember being in a ditch with raw sewage up to about my waist. And I'd been down to work under there. And you're trying to stay up out of it. But that's probably the day that it was the messiest day ever for me. So, not a good story to tell when you tell people you're standing in a ditch with raw sewage, up to your armpits and whatnot. But that is definitely probably the messiest day ever. OEF says, I make things like washing tables and kitchen tops from granite and marble. It can cost you around $10,000 for 2 or 3 days work, but very little of that is profit for me. And OEF, that's the thing about it is you've got to explain the value to people. And, the neat thing about it is if you can sell value to people, that they don't question your price. And what I mean is you need to explain to them why yours is better than anybody else's, why yours is worth whatever it is you're charging for it. And, I can't compete with every plumbing company in town. They say, well, you're doing the same thing. You're both doing plumbing. Well, maybe, but hopefully we're doing it right every single time we walk in. And the really big thing is you're not going to have to call us back. We're insured. We've got licensed people out working. I mean, we're trying to do everything right. Doesn't always happen that way, but we try. At least if we're trying every single time we walk out and we're trying to sell the value to people, they understand that. There's a lot of people that, they write their estimate on the back of a paper towel. They're not using software. They don't have an office. They don't have vans with insurance and properly stocked and things like that. So there's a lot of different things, but it is what it is. Michaela says, see, I remembered. Michaela says, Lady Plumber here, starting with a big chain company in North Carolina. Do you have any advice for starting my own company in the future? Absolutely. And Michaela, look, I've made a lot of videos about it. From everything you learn, start focusing on being the very best. And it doesn't matter to me whether you're female or not. That part doesn't even cross my mind. Number one, try to be the best plumber. Try to be the best trainer for your apprentices that they put with you. Try to be the very best person all the time. And go back to something I talked about, I think it was last week. And I heard one of my real estate friends, his father, speak one day. And his father said, look, fall in love with your customers and you will always treat them right. And if you will look at it that way, walking in, Michaela, and understand that you not only want to be the best customer or the best plumber for your customers, but you want to treat them than they've ever been treated by anybody else, any residential service provider. And if you can walk in and do that, you're going to love it. And think about it right now, walking in, that you always want to focus on owning your own company. Everything you do, everything you learn is moving you in that direction. And if you'll start that right now, I'm telling you, it'll pay off big time. Let me see. It's Monday. Have we talked about, first of all, Juliet Miranda? We were talking about her a while ago, saying that, there are certain people in here you need to subscribe to. Juliet Miranda happens to be one of them. Thank you for the super chat. And Julia, I got to tell you, we were in Scottsdale Thursday night for my birthday, and I had the Garrett brothers. Oh my God. Or Garrison brothers. Oh my God. And it wasn't the single barrel. It was not, God, Julie, what's the one we bought for you called? I don't remember. It wasn't their Cowboy Select. It was just the Garrison brothers bourbon on a big old square block of ice. Amazing. So if y'all want to talk alcohol, you really need to, in about 3 hours, check out Juliet Miranda. Juliet, how is the weather down in New Orleans? I know you've been getting hammered on here lately, but man, we think about you and David all the time. Hope y'all are doing well. Hope everything's going good there. And thank you for the cocktail. Cheers. Trade talks. So, if y'all haven't done it yet, check out our other YouTube channel. And it's funny because I think we've got about 145, 150 subscribers, and we don't have the video up yet. So it's funny that we've been doing really, really well. But thank you very much, Seabart. If you go over and check it out, don't worry, there's not a video up yet. But Laguna Madre, there you go. If you go over to the Trade Talks, subscribe. We've got about 145 subscribers. We don't even have the video up yet. We just sent it off and had it edited for podcast. So we've got a lot of things that we're working on. But you can also go to thetradetalks.com, check out the magazine, because we had some really good people write some really great articles. We're now working on the next one, aren't we, Julie Wakefield? Okay, what was Michaela? Oh, Michaela, my question was, look, if you want to own your own company, think about that right now. And while you're working for this company, become the best plumber, become the best at customer service. We just did a video. I don't know if it's up right now yet or not, but it is how to become the best performer.
Top producer went
up this morning. And Vinny's right. You can go back and rewind it. But the cool thing is, look, you know that you want to open your own company, and you think that every day when you go to work. How do you treat your customers? How do you sell? Are you the top producer? How do you train your apprentices? So there's a lot of different things. Did Goalie Dude 32 really say electricians are better? Oh my God. He's smoking crack and they let him on YouTube too? Okay, I'm joking. But Michaela, here's the deal. You know what you want to do. Focus on it now and stay focused on that. Some people don't know. Some people literally just have a job for 30 years and they decide one day, wow, I want to open a company, and they don't even know what to do. You know what you want to do. Start studying, start learning, start asking those questions, and everything you do, move in that direction. It'll be phenomenal. Kevin Schmuel, how are you, sir? I was wondering, I have a 1960s house in Minnesota, has copper water pipes, and some of them have a black wrap on them. Some of it's cracked and breaking apart. Should I be worried? If it's got a black wrap, it's probably either insulation or a black mill wrap to keep concrete off of it, depending on where it is. I would say you probably don't need to worry about it. If it's insulation, you can go buy some new insulation and re-insulate those pipes. If it's a black mill wrap, it was literally just to protect it as it came through concrete or a beam or something. Man, I think you'll be fine. I don't think you'll have any problems. If you do shark bites the right way, will they work? Number one, shark bites are a temporary fitting. Will they work? Yeah, for a while, till they start leaking. When they do, Neil Wakefield. Paul, you're so funny. Why do you prefer PVC over ABS for DWV systems? Is it a Texas thing? I guess ABS warps pretty easily in the heat. Is that the reason? Explorer 4161, what I will tell you is, and I have never installed ABS, and it may be a Texas thing. It just maybe that's what everybody uses here. Literally, it was funny. The video that I did, and if y'all hadn't seen it, you need to check it out. It's the one where the plumber poured concrete in the lead bends. Lori, when we dug that up to make the repairs, it was all ABS. Blew my mind. So, man, it's just something we've never used. It's either we went straight from cast iron to PVC. So you tell me, why don't y'all use PVC? And I ask because I know that they use ABS in California, and I would think that it would work there just as much as it does here in Texas. So, good way to look at it. Spirit of order. See y'all later unless you get flushed. Or unless you get flushed. See, I'm not getting flushed. Tyler Neighbors, Marine vet here. Thank you, sir, and thank you definitely for your service. The best thing I've ever seen is seeing a Marine get pushed over inside of a Porta-John. Let me tell you, he was covered fully, no holidays. Man, I've seen a guy take a tractor and push over a Porta-John because he was kind of upset with the person in it. And I'll tell you what, it ain't funny. Anybody ever did that to me, they better not be around, because when I come out, it's going to get ugly. But thank you very much for your service. I appreciate that. MW2 Freaks 1000. Hello from New York. Have you ever had to work with welders? I have. I used to be a superintendent in the union on some really big jobs in Dallas. And I've had welders, plumbers, pipe fitters, HVAC techs, and electricians on my crews. So, yeah, I've been there. JF Man 22345 says, I'm having a constant issue with sewage backing up into my downstairs shower. I have a septic. It's not quite full enough yet to be the cause of the backup. Any insight helps. I tell you what I would do. I would literally take a small top sink snake like goes on a drill, try and run it down your drain. If it's just your shower backing up, if anybody in the house has long hair. Matter of fact, I had somebody send me pictures just the other day. They went to somebody's house because same thing, shower kept backing up. They said that shampoos and soaps and gels and stuff like that had hardened up in the riser on the shower, not even down in the P-trap, but in the riser. Said it had hardened up so hard that he had to use a chisel to chisel it all out. So definitely can be a problem, and it's going to lead to stopped up sewage, so you're going to have problems. Super chat from Pyrella. How are you? Is it normal to always have water setting about 6 to 12 inches down in the sink pipe? No problems with it overflowing. Also, if they make a movie about the life of Wilford Brimley, would you like the role? Well, I hope it's a young Wilford Brimley. But yeah, man, he was good. I really did like him. But really, here's what I tell you. What kind of standpipe are you talking about? Are you talking about in the shower? It says the sink pipe. Is it a sink that has a P-trap under it? And is that what you're saying? The water that is in the P-trap? Look, water's supposed to be in P-traps. That's going to keep the sewer gases out from where you're at, and just make sure that it doesn't smell like raw sewage all the time. So, yeah, that could be possibly why you're looking down there and seeing water. I just look at your P-trap and see how far down it is. That could literally make a big difference. But, again, look, Wilford Brimley was amazing. So, yeah, I'd enjoy that. Oh, I love that. Michaela Batts. I'm going to holler at that one here in a second. Super chat from the trucker again. Thank you. I currently live in Idaho. Worked in the oil field for the last 2 years in North Dakota. Going back to my first question, would it be a good idea to start now with the world situation or what? I tell you what, I have no problem with, here's the thing with the world situation, people are at home taxing their plumbing systems more. So if you're going to be a residential service plumber, absolutely. Man, we are always needing more plumbers everywhere. And the sooner you get in, the better it's going to be for you. The question is, can you afford, is there going to be a pay cut, anything like that you're going to have to look at? If there is, man, I understand it's not going to be good for a little while, but I really think in the long run, you'll make more money. Timing, I don't know that the timing's ever been better. there's less and less people getting into the trades right now and more people retiring. So, man, I think it's great, and I think the future looks good. Michaela put a note on here real quick. So it says a lot of the media make trade jobs seem like man jobs, and it deters women. I want you to check out the deal up in Canada, Kick-Ass Careers. I wish I had my phone with me. I'd tell you about it. There's some amazing girls in here doing some amazing things. And I mean, I've reached out to them. I want them to write articles for me in the trade talks. So, man, I just tell you, there's a lot of women in the trades that do good. And 3 of the women that I know in Texas that are plumbers, the executive director for the Texas State Board of Plumbing Examiners, former chief plumbing inspector in the city of Dallas, and an engineer that owns her own continuing education company, doing great. So look, don't let being female ever deter you from anything that you really want to do, no matter what the media or anybody else says. Spirit of Order says, do you have any tips on being an electrician? Yeah. I would literally go through and look at the same videos that we're making that I tell people about wanting to be plumbers. The big deal is, look, the trades are the trades. And if I'm telling you things to do to be a better plumber, show up on time, listen to your journeyman, never stop learning. It's going to work for an electrician. It's going to work for a roofer. And everything that I tell people is how to be the best. And I tell them that for the reason that if you really want to excel, become the best at what you do. Become the best in your office. And Seth Godin says, look, if you're in a small city, become the best in that city. That's your world. And if you can become the best in your world, you're the most sought after. You're the one making the most money. You're the one getting the best reviews. And to me, that's what it's all about. So how do you become the best electrician? Man, do it better than anybody else. Learn it. Learn all the new tools and tips and tricks and technology. What is out there that a lot of old school electricians are saying, man, I ain't going to do that. It don't work. You know how many plumbers tell me YouTube won't work for a plumber? Okay, keep telling me. Have fun. Keep believing it. The official Salrex says, when are we getting a live plumbing job on site? Number one, that's hard to do. We may have some ways to do some, and what we'll have to look and see. Number one, we've got to get Wi-Fi and everything set up out on a job in order to do things like that. So there's a lot of different ways that we've looked at. But it's a lot of us about getting the right stuff in the right place to make sure that we can do it and it look good. I don't want to just carry out equipment and set up and it doesn't sound good. The picture's not good because the Wi-Fi is horrible, whatever it takes. It literally takes a lot of Wi-Fi and a lot of power to run all this equipment. So whenever we go out in the field, number one, we don't have the computers and mixers and everything that we normally get. What is the most common plumbing issue you see? That would probably be leaks that people don't know that they have. Literally, it can be a toilet running, a faucet dripping, things that most people, they see it and they're like, you know what, I'll worry about that later. Then they get used to it. And the biggest problem is when you get used to it, you don't do anything about it. And if you're not doing anything about it, then it's costing you a lot of money. So to me, that's probably the biggest problem is the leaks that people are aware of, but they think, it's not that big a deal. And we've got a little thing called a drip calculator. And actually you can go online and look it up. And you can literally count the number of drips that a faucet drips in a minute. And you can look it up and tell them how many times, if it drips 10 times a minute, it'll do the math and tell you how many gallons that equals a year. So it's kind of funny. But Caden, leaks that are not addressed is probably one of the biggest and unfortunately one of the worst. And it can be a pain because the more you let it leak, especially like on a 3-handle tub or shower valve, it can eat up the seat inside. It can end up costing you more money for not addressing problems. And that's why we try to look at it and say, look, what can we do to improve this or make it better? James Brown says, just landed a $15,000 3-boiler installed this Friday. Good for you. You know, look, here's the deal. There's great money in the trades. And that's why I say, look, it's not going to be very long till plumbers are going to be making $100 an hour. The reason being is that supply and demand. And if you get in it now and you learn it and you get really good at it, fight hard to be the best you can be. Whether you're a plumber, electrician, I don't care. Literally try to be the best you can be, because when you get out and you open your own company like Michaela wants to do, look, you're going to get out there and you're going to kill it. And these $15,000 jobs, you're going to get 10 of those a week. And it's going to be like, okay, look, man, I got to hump it, or I got to get some people in here. But you start building that reputation as being the best. And I'm telling you, if you will work hard to build that, become the very best that you can be, man, you're going to be around forever and you're going to be nailing it. So, James Brown, congratulations to you. It's a good job. I hope it works out for you really, really well. While Will's pulling up another one, Goalie Dude 32 says, what's your opinion on geothermal heating and cooling systems? Look, I'm a lead AP. I love it. Anytime you can do things green, it is going to be a big deal. And to make things that can help save energy and save money and save the rainforest and, you know, climate change and the panda bears in Australia. I'm going to cry. Here's the deal. Geothermal heating and cooling is fantastic. If the temperature is different in the earth and we can get that temperature up here for us to use and it doesn't cause any problems, man, why wouldn't we do it on every house we build? I've literally got an idea in my head about a completely green house, off the grid, needs no electricity, no water, no nothing. And man, my thing is just, look, one of these days I'm going to do it. So Tesla Plays, I appreciate it. Love seeing it. And I think it's going to be great. You know, Michaela, again, I'm going to holler at you just because I see some comments. Physical requirements, there's guys that can't meet some of the physical requirements, but they let them in anyway. And if a girl wants to do this bad enough, and I say girl, lady, woman, I mean, no disrespect, they can do whatever they want to do. I wish that I had 10 females that wanted to be plumbers and were willing to work hard and do it, because I'm telling you, I think that the attention to detail would be so much better that I think it'd be great. We got Mr. Will.
I think you missed Tesla Play's question. You were answering Goalie Dude's question about geothermal heating. And I pulled up Tesla Play's question about what's your favorite YouTube channel.
Oh, God, sorry about that.
I'll send it back real quick.
Okay, now I see it. Okay, you're right. I did. I read it over here. I was waiting for you to pop
going
on. I know, and I'm trying to help you out by getting ahead of some, thinking, hey, I can speed this game up a little bit. Man, it's funny. My favorite YouTube channel is a guy named Roger Wakefield. It's all about plumbing. Oh, my God. I don't know if y'all seen that or not, but, I mean, it's cool. You know what? It's funny because the people that I really watch, I watch Paul Peck. I watch Miranda Lambert. I did that again. Juliet Miranda. To listen to Juliet Miranda talk about bourbon and drinks and musics and her unwritable rant, I love it. The ones that I go in and watch are normally YouTubers. I love Nick Nimmin. Paul Peck and Neil, to watch Neil cut a hole in the side of a van to install a window, the Urban Explorer. And it's neat because I know these people. And you know, I built relationships being here watching them. And then when you see them in person, I mean, man, you just walk up and hug them. D. Nimmin, Daniel Battal, Sean Cannell, Roberto Blake, Benji Travis. I'm going to be on Benji Travis's. I'm being interviewed on video influencers Saturday at 12 Central Standard Time. So, man, it's pretty cool when YouTubers start reaching out and saying, "Hey, man, would you do this?" Just for channels to watch, man, Matt Reisinger's pretty good. I do love Drain Addict, but a lot of these is watching and saying, "Man, what could I do with them, like them, stuff like that?" There's a lot of different things out there. Probably a good way to look at it. I love that. Vinny says, "I did a job and a woman opened the door naked and I ran away and called my boss." Yeah, I had the same thing happen. Woman opened the door naked. I ran inside and no, sorry, that was a dream. The neat thing about it is there's so many different opportunities on YouTube, so many different things to watch. And I remember seeing Gary Vee speak 2 years ago, and he picked up his phone. He said, "Look," he says, "YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram, whatever other one he picked." He said, "This is the new NBC, CBS, ABC, and Fox." And it is. It's where everybody's going to watch video, to learn things. And I think it's great. Seabart 1987 says, "When I was finishing my basement, I decided to install backflow on the main drain. Wife flushed the crapper, and I was covered in it." You know what? And I think y'all heard Julie. If y'all aren't connected with Julie and I on LinkedIn, you should connect. We'll be live tomorrow at 10 o'clock Central Standard Time. And we were talking about a plumbing job that we did last time. We just got a number member, the trucker. Welcome to the Tuber Turds. Good to have you here, brother. And I say brother, maybe a sister, Michaela. Nothing wrong by that. And look, I it's funny. Julie went off last week, and look, I've seen it before. I remember working with a plumber when I was young. Told the people next door, we were tying into a commercial line. Said, "Look, please do not flush your toilet. Please do not flush it. Give me 30 minutes." We get back. He cuts out the line. We're getting ready to drop the piece back in. We prefabbed it. This was a quick tie-in, and sure enough, well, you could hear the water running. We cut it. We had the piece out. We're fixing to set the new one down there. He's down in the ditch, and you could hear it. You could hear it flush. You could hear the water coming, and all of a sudden he's like, "Oh no, here it comes, here it comes." And sure enough, he couldn't get out, so he wasn't real happy about it. But last week, Julie talked about, we had the guys over at our house, and the lady calls, says, "Well, I'm sure your plumbers aren't mad. I flushed the toilet twice because it's taking a long time." And I'd have gone home. I'd have just said, "Hey, lady, look, you call me when nobody's going to be here, and I'll come back and do it all. But until then, I'm not going to stand at your house while you flush the toilet." Michaela, I love that. Nursing homes will thicken your skin. So will being a plumber. So you are well prepared. So Seabart 1987, I just got to tell you, yeah, I've most upset I ever got is literally one of my plumbers was working on a job, and I was there with him. I think it was over at SMU. And all of a sudden, this guy's like, "Oh, my God, what?" And he looks up. Somebody's up on the floor above urinating through a sleeve, and it's dripping down on him. And, yeah, I'd be upset. Seabart 1987 just subscribed to Juliet Lambert, Miranda. I don't know why I do that. Keep thinking Miranda Lambert.
I'm going to have to get flashcards for you.
I know. Her name is Juliet Miranda. And, man, I love listening to her talk. Oh, my God. The trucker says, "I'm an honorary turd now." Yes, you are an honorary tuber turd. Neil says, "Roger, ran the boiler in the van for a week, heating and water perfect. Now calling myself a van plumber and calling yourself a van plumber and a gas fitter." Man, hey, show how you're getting paid for it, brother, and I can help you get your plumbing license over here in Texas. Neil, it's good to see you in here, brother. How is everything going over there in the United Kingdom? Is everything going great? You staying safe? Taking care of you and the family and everybody? Man, I can't even tell you. Yeah, because it's not out yet. Yes, I can. It's out. Daryl Eves. I'm speaking at his event this year. I saw it posted on a link the other day, so I can say something about it. And man, I thought that was pretty cool. I think Lady More Natural says she can put a water heater in all by herself. I like that. Chandler Weidman, I like that. Do you use a sales process? You know, if you don't use one, you're going to be in trouble. And what I mean by that is you've got to understand, and I don't know that I'd call it a sales process. It's a communication process. You've got to understand how to talk to the customer, how to communicate with the customer, how to listen to the customer, how to know what the customer wants even when they don't know what they want, but also how to know what the customer needs by listening to what problems they're having. So I don't know if I call it a sales process, but I think that, oh my God. Julie said that Neil just said Liverpool just went into a 6-month lockdown.
Is that crazy?
Oh my God. Yeah. It's probably what we all need to do, but you know. So Neil, what are they doing with restaurants and bars and things like that? And this is, and look, Chandler, I've pretty much told you my answer is there is a process, and you've got to go through it with every customer you have to be fair and good at what you're doing. So absolutely. Neil, what are they doing about restaurants and bars and stuff like that? So tell Aurelio 1976 goodbye. The thing is, you've got to have a process every time you walk into a house, meaning you've got to have a process for leak detection. You've got to have a process for rebuilding a toilet, for changing out a water heater. For everything you do, you have to go in and do things right. And a lot of time, the process with the customer, and I don't really call it a sales process, it's a communication process. Are you giving them all the right information, and are you getting all the information? And anything that you can do to help that process get better is going to help you as a business owner, or even just a plumber. Look at the video that we did today, and check it out, and let me know what you think about it. Vincent LaCroix, how are you? Good to see you in here again. Really enjoying this talk from my basement right now. My question is, what step do you think we need to take to get more women into the trades? I'll tell you what, and it's funny you asked that because I don't know how long you've been in, but Michaela's been talking about it. I've been talking about it. Look up Kick-Ass Careers in Canada. And I wish I had Jamie, I think's her name. We'll grab my phone, or Julia, if you're in here, grab my phone.
Go grab it.
The cool thing is, look, I have tried reaching out to, and her name's Jamie, I think, about writing an article because I think Canada is literally doing really good. They are literally recruiting women to be welders. And the bad thing is, and I literally read this on a thing just the other day about this girl that when she went out on a job, one of the old welders says, well, hey, if you have a child, it's going to be retarded. And she says, look, I was really worried about this. And it blew my mind because I thought, why in the heck would anybody, do or say anything at all like that? And it's funny, here we are talking about Canada, and I just got a phone call from St. Teresa Point, Manitoba. So what I'm trying to find is what her name is. I think it's Jamie McMillan, but she's with a group called Kick-Ass Careers. It is in Canada, and the really neat thing about it is that they're recruiting females into the trades predominantly welding. The UA is doing a lot of their training and stuff like that. And I don't know why it won't let me find my messages. But here's the cool thing about it is, there we go. I think getting women in the trades is smart. And as a service plumber, what I would really like to do is have more women in the trades, because I think that they are more focused. They're going to be more detail oriented, and they're really going to push things to be right on every single job they have. And Julie's in here. You can ask her. One of the big problems that we used to have, and we don't so much anymore, but we used to have a bunch of callbacks. And it's from plumbers that just don't care. They get in, they're in a hurry, they leave. And, I would rather have a plumber that's going to come in, be very detail oriented, not have callbacks, even if it takes them a little bit longer. At least then you don't have to worry about that. And I like that. Michaela says, I worked through my entire pregnancy, a very healthy 3-month-old daughter. Congratulations to you. So, the neat thing about the trades is, to be honest, anybody can do it. And I don't mean just, okay, her name is Jamie McMillan, Jamie McMillan. And the neat thing about it is she does a lot going around Canada, talking to different schools and trades and recruiting females. And I really love the fact that Canada's doing something like that. I think that the United States should do something like that, because it literally makes a difference what young women and men are taught. And think about this. This is not just going to help the women. It's going to help men understand, hey, women in the trades is okay. Women in the trades is actually, it's a good thing. So a lot of different ways to look at it. But, man, I think it's something that we need, and it's something that I'm trying to do with the Trade Talks. Ben Marshall says, just got finished up repairing a leak under a slab. The pipe was poly, which many houses are, unfortunately, piped in down here in Tucson. Love the channel. Thank you very much. Ben, I was actually in Phoenix and Scottsdale this last week. And, man, I got to tell you, me and Julie had a blast. Had so much fun. Great food. And I love seeing all the colors. You got Seabart and Michaela and Julie in there, and it's like green and blue and green, and it's pretty cool. So I like that.
I got to say, those loyalty badges, they look pretty good.
I know they do. I want y'all to know, Will described the little tuber turds there with the mustache. Thought that was pretty neat. So
they change the longer you're a member. They go from regular poop to bronze, silver, gold to diamond after you've been there for a year.
And then I think when we get to 2, we'll put in like a platinum, or maybe we'll do platinum a year and then diamond 2 years or something. But yeah, Will's been in there working on this. It looks really, really good. So anyway, Ben, man, look, we've got poly in here too, up under the slab and services and stuff like that. Most of the polybutylene, we don't even replace it or don't even repair it. We just tell them, look, it's going to have to be replaced. Brandon says, what's everyone's opinion of all the DIY projects people are doing this year? I'm thinking post-pandemic, there's going to be lots of repair jobs. You know what, Brandon, could be? I'm actually get a sip of tea while I'm waiting on Will. So, Jordan G., gas fitter from Canada, what do you think about flat rate pricing? Man, we love it completely. And I'll come back to you. I forgot. I got one over here. Brandon, look, the DIY projects are great, and I love the fact, and that's part of why I make videos. I want people to learn to do it right. Brandon, right now, there's a lot of people not working. So if they're not working, man, I hope that at least if they're fixing something, they're doing it right. And to me, that's such a big deal. So I don't mind people doing it, and literally that's what we started our YouTube channel for, was to show people how. But my thing is, if they're going to do it, man, do it right. That way they're safe, their family's safe, and there's not a problem. But Brandon, I think you're right. There's going to be repair jobs from now on over stuff that people have done, had their best friend do or something like that. And when you say, where are you located at, Brandon, just out of curiosity? Jordan G's got a super chat in there. Gas fare from Canada. What do I think about flat rate pricing? And I started to hit it a while ago. I love it. It literally, it helps me because I know how it's created and I've actually been involved with it. So the neat thing that I like is it gives me something to go by. Now I can look at something and think, okay, you know what, we've done 5,000 of these. We don't need to charge that much. We can lower that price. Or I can also look at it and say, hey, I don't think that this is going to be a good deal. We need to raise the price because that's just not going to work. So there's a lot of different ways that we look at it, but I love it because it kind of lets you know, based on a nationwide, how long it should take, but a nationwide average, I can tell you whether we're doing it better or worse, and I can adjust my price accordingly. So, look, I love it. The group that we're in, we actually call them straightforward pricing, and it works. It helps me set myself apart from everybody else because of the catalog, the book, the way we do it, and it's part of my sales process. It's part of my communications, having that book. Vladimir says, have you ever traveled outside the U.S.? Had you ever traveled outside the U.S.? Yes. Have you noticed any major differences in plumbing in other countries? You know, maybe just, you know, OSHA, safety, things like that. Julie and I try to go to Mexico and go scuba diving a lot. And I say a lot. We hadn't been in a while. But, and even Will, gone down there with him. The thing about it is safety is probably the biggest concern. You get guys that are not wearing hard hats and safety glasses. Some are in shorts and tank tops. And, you know, it's just, that's about the only difference I see. Is the quality of work still there? Man, you hope that it is. I think it always is, but you never know. It's funny, Michaela. Somebody's wanting me to go to Charlotte right now. Ferguson is talking about me going down there. So we there may be a few of us end up in North Carolina. So, Vladimir, I don't know that it's that big a difference on the materials and stuff like that. I think the biggest thing may be methods, tools, and OSHA, and, you know, the safety level on the job. And I think that's probably it. OSHA probably being the biggest thing. And, man, I just say that because, look, OSHA is pretty big here in the United States, and what they want done, how they want it done, and they're pretty much a stickler about it. Trucker says, remember the people that had the mad plumber pour concrete down the drains? How did it end? Did they enjoy the surprise you had for them? You know, here's the problem. The city of Richardson would not file charges. They said that they did not have enough evidence that he actually poured it in. I mean, just because he walked into the house with a bucket and concrete and, you know, water and things like that. They turned it over to the insurance company. We have made most of the repairs. Now we found another leak. I got to find out where we're at on it. But my thing is, look, it's getting taken care of. The plumber is definitely going to have problems, and it's a problem. He's liable to lose his license. I hate to say it, but it's true. And I don't know that he's seen the video yet. I have not had any comments that says, hey, dude, that was me, yada, yada, yada. I hadn't received any phone calls. Nobody shot at me lately driving on the road. At least not this week, I don't think. It was last week. So, you know, you never know what's going to happen. But at the end of the day, yeah, he's going to have problems. How far are we behind on questions, Will?
We're only like 4 pages.
Okay.
We're okay.
Okay. Do we need to speed round it here for a little while? Just
Let's do that at 5.
okay.
The last few minutes.
So at 5 o'clock, we're going to do speed round on the questions to kind of get caught up. We try to do this, and I want to mention what part of the memberships is about. And man, it's great right now with just 4 of them. Probably in a couple of weeks, once we get enough members in here that get in early, literally they're going to have the first hour to ask questions all by themselves. And, they get to comment, they get to do different things. So here pretty soon, it'll be members only from 3 to 4, and then everybody else from 4 to 5:30. So it's pretty cool. And the cool thing is you get that cool looking little turd. I mean, that's pretty cool.
And the custom emojis. I haven't seen any of our members use them yet, but they should have some
that's
custom
right.
emojis.
Do y'all know about that? So Michaela, and C. Bart, since I see both y'all right there, you can go down into the comment where the smiley face is and click on it, and you'll have custom emojis there that you can use. And do you have access to those?
Well, I'm logged on as you over here, so I'll go ahead and put a couple in.
I don't know if you do or not. Okay, so Cole Nichter says, I don't know if you're like me, Roger, but what aggravates me most about this plumbing is having to go to the truck a billion times on a big job. Look, I completely get it. And it's really funny because when I was on a big job, see, look at them now. Everybody's pulling them out. I love that. See that? And look at Paul Peck. He's got them all there. I didn't even see you still in here, Paul. That is cool. And as you see, Paul Peck's a moderator, so his name is Blue. Michaela, Joseph, and C. Bart are members, so theirs is green. And I tell you what, I love the way our colors are blue and green. Well, of course, nothing in here is Texas Green Plumbing right now. Our Texas Green Plumbing colors are blue and green, so that looks really cool. And then the Ferguson is blue, so man, it all ties together. Kind of neat. So, Cole Nichter, you're right. I remember on one of my first big commercial jobs, I had like 3 gang boxes for me. I had one with my personal tools, lunch, but I mean, I had a lot of tools on that job. On the other one, I had like big fittings, big tools like chain cutters, porta bands, sawzalls, stuff like that. And then I had a box just for fittings. And man, very well organized. It worked great. Actually a good thing to have. Sebastian Lodel says, greetings from Germany. Sebastian, thank you so much. And I love the fact that we get people from around the world in here. And Sebastian, I got a question. When you hear us talk, I know it sounds like I have an accent. When you hear us talk, does it sound like we do things pretty similar in the United States and Germany? And I had somebody ask earlier, says, Roger, when you go out of the country, do you see a big difference in plumbing? And I don't see a lot, but OSHA is probably the big deal. But, that's just going to Mexico. Do you see a big difference in Germany and the United States and the things that we do? Kind of interesting. Captain Howdy says, what age do you think it's too late to start working in a trade? The funny thing is, Captain Howdy, I had apprentices in the union that were 55 and that they did great. I've had some that are 18 that they couldn't handle it because they weren't mature enough yet. Now, don't get me wrong, though. I've had some 18-year-olds that came in knowing what they wanted to do. So, man, it's a personal deal. It's just, it's like Michaela being female. Look, if you think you can do it, you can do it. And I love that because my whole thought process is, look, don't let me tell you what you can or can't do. You need to tell yourself that. And if this is something you want to do, man, get your butt out there and do it. Learn it and become the very best at it. And I'm telling you, it will change your life forever. Slow Mata. I want to become an associate. Is there a school or a company that takes beginners in Houston? Yeah. In the trades, it's called an apprentice. Local 68 in Houston is for plumbing. But, you can go through the union like that, or you can contact PHCC, find out if they have any companies that work down there that may be looking for apprentices. It just, and here's the thing I tell everybody is, look, go through my free mini course, figure out what kind of plumber do you want to be. And I say plumber, but really it's plumber, roofer, electrician, HVAC tech. I was looking at the little emoji that Joseph Lalibert put under the two elbows.
Yeah, it's two elbows. And then I don't know if you see Nightbot, man, he's quick. He's already got a link to your membership.
I love that.
He's crazy.
I love that. All over. Nightbot's good. Somebody asked me earlier, say, hey, who's that Nightbot thing that's in there? I said, man, he's all over it.
It's almost like someone whose name rhymes with pill controls him.
There you go. There you go. Like Will the Pill. So, here's what I tell you, Slow Mata. Check with the unions, but first go through my mini course, find out what kind of plumber do you want to be. If you want to be a residential plumber doing service work, you're probably not going to want to be union. But if you want to be a commercial plumber and you never want to own your own business, it may be great for you. And don't get me wrong, I say never. Look, I did commercial and union for 25 years, but now I own my own business. It just happens to be it's not union because I was going broke. Garrett Rush, I'll answer yours too. Do you like union work or no? I love union work if you're an employee. If you're an employee, being in the union is great for you. If you want to open your own company, it sucks. Think about it. I've had my company for about 5 years. I've written about $400,000 in checks to the union. It adds up. And some years it really adds up a lot. So it can be tough, but I will tell you this. And I love Michaela's answer. I want to be an everything plumber. Man, I get it, but you got to figure out where to start. And Michaela, the reason I did my free mini course like that, there's some people, if they started out as a residential service plumber and pulled a cap off a clean out and puke and poop and paper and feminine products came floating up out of it, man, they'd throw up their lunch while they were running home. So I just try to tell people, look, there's a lot of different opportunities and a lot of different things you can do. And man, I made that go away, Will.
Okay, I'll put it back up.
Sorry about that. Nick Porter says, just popping in to say, randomly found this channel and your videos are wholesome as hell. Keep doing what you're doing. Well, I hope you subscribe, Nick. And look, if anybody's in here and you like what we're doing, give us a thumbs up. And I don't ask for those all the time, and I know that I'm supposed to, but here's the deal. We love what we're doing, and we want to give people the best advice, best information, the best thing we can do. So, Nick, if you do love what we're doing and you appreciate it, man, please give us a thumbs up. Share it in a Facebook message. Share it somewhere and tell people, say, hey, look, if y'all are interested in plumber, I tell apprentices, look, share this at school. I've got a lot of apprentices that tell me, look, my instructor is showing your videos every night we go in class, and I think it's great because I love what we're teaching. And the neat thing about it is we are trying to teach people the right way to do things. Scott Horacheka, I think I said that right. Scott Horacheka. Studying for your C of Q, do you have any recommended practice tests? Number one, where are you located and what is a C of Q? Here in Texas, we've just got like journeyman, or we've got tradesman, journeyman, and master's license. So what your C of Q is, I'm not sure. I love that, Michaela. And Garrett Rush, are you sure the United Association has no union in South Carolina? I would literally we've got a video out that talks about union and how to get in the union. And there's one of them that there's actually a link how to find your local union. And I would just check and see what's close, because the union's nationwide. I'd be willing to bet that there is something in South Carolina somewhere. Okay, so Sebastian says, I have relatives in America, and they told me some things are the same as in Germany, but stuff like driving and some other things are different. You know, man, all I know is I want the Autobahn. Will's nodding too. We both want to get like Lamborghinis and just go over there and just drive like crazy. You're right. There's a lot of things different. Driving is one thing. That's no big deal. It's just one side of the road or the other. But man, I know. Seabart 1987 says more thumbs up helps bump up the channel, and it does. It helps tell more people about it. If YouTube likes what you're doing, they tell more people. That's what the whole thumbs up thing's all about. So thank you, sir. Barrett Stolzman, thank you for the super chat. Do y'all have any need for software engineers in the industry? No clue why the algorithm slid me your videos this past week, but they are great. Thank you very much. You know, software engineers, probably not for most small companies like me, but when you start getting into the larger, big commercial companies, man, they do a lot. I could see a software engineer possibly fitting in there to help design something. My son does estimating for one of the large mechanical contractors. So there's a lot going on here. I just don't know that a software engineer would fit in, but man, it would sure be worth figuring out. My thing is, if you're a software engineer and you're good on a computer, you may say, look, I can get in and learn CAD or get in and learn estimating, things like that are on a computer. And you may be able to get in and look at it and say, hey, if we change this, look what I can make it do. And that could be huge. Barrett Stolzman, there you go. You have any need for software engineers in the industry? Okay, yes. So I would think about CAD or estimating and see what you could do there and see what you could make that work. So certificate of qualifications. Okay. So basically it's just like a test, same type deal like our license. I love that. Systemax 2000. Thank you very much. So Scott, here's what I would say is find out what kind of code, what all the test is going to cover. Anytime we send our plumbers down for their journeyman or masters or whatever, we know what code books they need to look at. We know what kind of things they need to get familiar with or refresh before they go take the test. And it does make a big, big difference. So those of y'all that have seen it, we did start memberships today. The neat thing about it is here pretty soon, probably in the next few weeks, the first hour from 3 to 4 will be members only. Members will get to ask questions and get in the chat and stuff like that. Other people will be able to talk or be able to watch the video, but not be able to post comments or questions and things like that. And it is literally so that members have more time to literally ask questions, and they'll be able to ask as many questions as they want. So anybody who wants to be on a member, right down below the video, I think just click on the link that says join.
Should be next to the subscribe button. If not, just go to the channel. You'll see it on the channel.
There you go. Vincent LaCroix, and I like this one too. What can be done to get more young people interested in the trade? I myself only started plumbing school at 25. Never thought I'd love it this much. And man, I love that because literally I'm trying to work with one of the high schools here and help them with their syllabus, what they're trying to teach people. And my thing is that there was almost a bill passed 2 years ago in Texas that would allow high school students to get credit towards their plumbing license. And I think that would just be the greatest thing on earth if a kid could go to school, guy or girl, take plumbing or HVAC or electrical or roofing and actually get credit for it. If they could take it enough time over a couple of years or 3 years or however long the high school will allow it. I mean, if I could hire somebody straight out of high school that knew how to do most things in a residential house, how do you rebuild a toilet, a water heater, a faucet, replace cartridges, run a sewer machine, run a camera, do different things like that. Man, I could pay them $50,000 a year starting out, because they're going to be able to come out, get in a van, and become a revenue creating source. And to me, that's huge. So, Vincent, my big deal is I think it's something that we should be working on. I think it's something that we should be trying to push in all the high schools, because, the last thing we want is for people to get out of high school, not be able to make a living, have to stay home with mom and dad, have to get their girlfriend pregnant and move in with her or her parents because it's the easy thing to do. Let's make it where they can get out and be on the way to a good career, a good trade, where they can do really, really well. Aubrey Michelle says, a carpenter here using my finances and thinking about changing careers. What do you think, Roger? Aubrey, I'll tell you what, and we've been talking about this all day. Number one, females in the trade to me is amazing in all the trades. I think women are more detail oriented. They're going to make sure they're doing things right better. I've been talking about Jamie McMillan up in Canada with Kick-Ass Careers. They are really promoting females in the trades. And look, I think it's huge. The good thing is if you're already a carpenter and you know construction, you know to use tools, or you know how to use the tools, man, rolling over into plumbing is going to be easy for you. And getting in with the right company, your like button is annoying me. Please punch it to remind it to behave. So everybody punch the like button real quick. Make sure it's doing what it's supposed to do. Joseph, thank you. Sorry about that. Aubrey Michelle, here's the deal. If you've already got experience in the trades, and look, I call carpenter a trade just like every one of us is doing, and you've been doing it a while. Number one, you're familiar with tools. You're familiar with construction. You're familiar with the way things are done. My thing for you is get into it soon. Learn the best you can. Go take my free mini course and learn what kind of plumber do you want to be. And I say plumbing, electrical, HVAC, it doesn't matter. Do you want to do commercial or residential? Do you want to do service or new construction? Do you want to be union or non-union? And that's the questions that I ask and the information that I give people in my free mini course to help them out. And to me, man, makes a big, big deal. But I'm telling you, look, if you've already got experience, it can be huge. And it's going to help you get in. It's going to help you maybe even start out at a higher pay scale if you can come in. And, I tell people all the time, look, watch my videos and walk in and tell people, look, what do you want to know about plumbing? I know how to rebuild toilets. I know how to set water heaters. I know how to troubleshoot this. I know how to test this. I know how to do this. And you never know. A lot of these things you can work on around your house and really get experience. It can be great for you. Trucker says, anyone else enjoy these Plumber Reacts videos? We should request more. I tell you what, we do get a lot of requests for them. And that's another thing too. video@rogerwakefield.com. That is a great place to send videos, pictures, anything. Anytime you're out on a job and you look at it and you're like, oh my God, I cannot believe somebody did this. And send that picture and do two things. Take it up close, take it back a little way, and then take it back far enough that I can see everything around it. Some of these pictures that I get, it's like, okay, wait, what is this? And I can read the notes and I can look at it and get pretty close, but I'm like, okay, wait a minute. This could have been done a little bit different. Man, just check it out. Systemax 2000 says, what is the thing in the background behind you that tells your subscription count? Well, number one, I'm hoping it's up to 170,000 now. I know we hit that today. And I mean, think about that. 3 weeks ago, we had 150. 21 days later, we had 170. We're getting almost 1,000 subscribers a day. I love that. That's why I go, how many people are in here? Man, last week got crazy. We had like 350 people at one time. And I love that because that means people are, whether it's YouTube or y'all sharing it, but people are telling people about it, and that's fantastic. The clock is actually in most of our descriptions. It's our digital display. You can go there and click on it, check it out. And it's actually pretty cool. And it used to make a noise every time we'd hit another 100 or something, it'd go ding. Will finally got upset. He turned it off. He said, "Look, it messes up our videos." So anyway, that's what it is. I don't remember. You know the brand of it? I know you got the app on your
It's
phone.
called LaMetric Time.
LaMetric.
And there is a link in the description of our videos.
Perfect. And that's it, guys. We're always looking for fun, cool things. Not just for here, but I mean plumbing. You look at what we do plumbing. We're always looking at new equipment, new tools, new technique, new everything, just to try to do better. So we're gonna hit speed round here pretty quick. It is 5:00, and normally by this point we're 5 to 10 pages behind. I think we're a little better today because
Will's slower today.
Will's been putting them up. It's a little slower. I've also been looking over here and answering whatever questions I could see rolling up through here. Okay, so Billy Atkinson says, if you go on a service call and it ends up taking a few hours to fix something, how do you justify charging the customer $100 an hour? Do you feel bad handing them a $600 bill? No, Billy, I don't, because number one, we do things right. And number two, if it's 6 hours, it's going to be a lot more than $600. My cost is almost almost $100 an hour for plumbers. By the time you figure the plumber, the truck, the overhead, the insurance, the fuel, the advertising, the office help, everything it takes, it's not just that plumber. And I do not know any plumbing company around that is cheaper than $100 an hour. So just let you know, no, that doesn't bother me at all. If I'm handing people a bill for $100 an hour, we're going out of business. I promise you. Okay, Vinny Gambini says he should do videos where he looks at how plumbing is different in other countries. Vinny, I like that. That's a great thing to do. Matter of fact, as soon as I read them, you can roll them out. I love that idea. It's just going to be expensive for me to get to other countries all the time to look and compare. I got to take Will or Grayson or somebody with me to video, so that could get very expensive. But you're right, man. That could be fun. Frank Steenburn says, no question here. Just want to thank you for such great channel. Helped me fix my dual vanity. Man, I love that, Frank. Thank you so much. The cool thing is what we do. We literally started this channel to help people fix things. Then we realized we've got people that want to get in the trades, people that want to get better at the trades, and even people that are in the trades but maybe want to open their own company and learn social media and things like that. So we have definitely had a lot of fun doing everything we do. Mr. Doherty says, your video on PEX, you said that expansion sleeves would pass more water than a crimp ring. Are the brass fittings the same ID? The connection is on the OD of the fitting, correct? The connection is on the OD. The brass fittings are bigger. And it's funny because I went and looked at a job today, and a guy asked me, he says, do you have a problem against PEX? No, I have no problem at all with PEX. But when you design a system for PEX, oversize it because those fittings are smaller internally than copper fittings or the pipe or anything else. So it is going to create a flow restriction. Bethany Calb says, watch the flush valve replacement video, but still leaks into bowl. Giant nut is hand tightened, so plan on a quarter turn with channel locks. If that doesn't work, could the plastic tube be broken? Bethany, normally not. Did you drop food coloring or blue food tablets in the tank to see if it's leaking through there? If your fill valve is not working properly, it could be putting water into that black tube and going into your bowl. So there's a lot of different ways that'd really go down the drain. But man, any tank can be rebuilt. And don't get me wrong, it may not be worth it if it's really old and it's not high efficiency toilet, but great ways to look at it. Juan Peralta, a plumber I know, recommended a clean out cap with a hole on top as a cheap alternative to a mechanical vent. No. Number one is a clean out cap with a hole on top. No. If you do that, you're going to get sewer gases. So no, that's not a cheap alternative to a mechanical vent. It's just not good. You're going to get a smell. Any hints on how to free a stuck plumbing snake? Steve Dubb, man, brother, I feel for you. A lot of times if they're stuck, there's channel rot. The snake head has dropped down in a crack. A lot of different problems that it could be. And there's just not an easy way. What you may be able to do, depending on how far down it is run a bigger piece of PEX. If you can get it around it and get it in and push it to where it can kind of help pull it up out of stuff. I've done that with the camera head before. Man, it's tough. Rishandra Online. Hope I got that right. How much of code do you think is safety and generally the right thing to do, and how much is pedantry? Here's the thing. Code, there's a reason for it. And the thing is, it's the safety of the people. Remember, plumbers protect the health of the nation. And the big thing about it is as all plumbers, we've got to look at protecting the people. Cross connections kill people. And it's not a good thing. And if we're not looking at protecting the people and we're just in it for how much money can I make and make your money and get out, then it's not good. You're never going to do good. Vinny Gambini says, what do you use to install toilet and urinal spuds? Rigid makes a little tool that I don't have in here with me. Channel locks, pliers, crescent wrenches, different things like that. It depends on how tight it is, where it's located, and you said install, so you're trying to tighten it up. Man, just find the right tool to get in there and get on that spud and lock it down so you can tighten it up. They're a pain sometimes, man. I remember one time I fought one for hours, and it whooped my tail. DJ Rufo Perez says, where can I make more money, replacing or new houses? Here's what I'll tell you. The neat thing about it is, and the funny thing about it is, you can actually make more money doing residential repair. And the reason that is that, and look, you know, I was in Local 100 here trying to get them to teach residential service because, you know, we unions bid all the big new construction jobs, but we drive past 1,000 to 100,000 houses to get to them. Now the union should be, the United Association should be going after residential work. And every plumber, I mean, look, I talk to 100,000 plumbers a day now. Every plumber that wants to do commercial should be looking at the union because of the education. I wish that they would get into residential harder and teach people about that. But, you know, the big thing is to make more money. There's great benefits in a union, but in the long run, if you can become the top performer at your company, and we released that video today, you become the top performer in your company, in a residential service company, you can make great money. And it really is good for you. Little Sleep says, I had to replace a grease trap when I started breaking it apart at the bottom so we could pull the concrete out in pieces. There was water leaking from under it. How did water get under the concrete? Well, if you broke it out in pieces, it may have leaked out the bottom, and I'm not sure because I can't see everything by this. But, I mean, there could have been a crack in the concrete. It could have eaten a hole in it. It could be a lot of different things. So not sure. Steve says, will water hammer damage a tankless water heater, gas, and or electric? I would say that it probably could. And the only reason I say that is a tankless water heater relies on pressure. It knows when water's moving. So it's got to have sensors. It's got to have things in there. My first thought is if it will hammer, it could possibly mess up that sensor. So I would say, yes, it could be possible to mess it up. Nate says, hey, Roger, do you ever work with engineers? And is there anything you wish they would do better?
He didn't call you Roger.
I know. I was being nice. Roger, Roger. The thing is, Nate, look, I love working with engineers. And I've worked with some of the smartest freaking engineers I've ever met. The thing I wish they would do is communicate better. A lot of times they know things we don't know. So whenever we try to give them recommendations or something, they think we're stupid. But if they would tell us what it is they know we don't, it could make a big difference. Alexander Ayers, how are you today? Asking for 90-year-old grandmother. Does Drano really damage your pipes? Her tub is draining slow and not sure what our best option is considering we can't afford light bulbs right now. Alexander, here's what I would tell you. Take like a piece of wire, almost like a clothes hanger, put a hook on it, stick it down in the drain, see if there's hair, if there's gel, if there's any kind of gunk down there. Another cool thing is take like a zip tie, and we did that in the 5-minute hack video. You literally cut little hooks in it, like cut it on each side. That way it makes pointies. You like that? It makes pointies. And then you stick it all the way in and pull it back out. If there's hair and stuff like that, it'll pull it. Heck, if there's hell in there, it'll pull hell out too. But stick it down there and pull it out. And if anything you can get out of there, it should help. Where are y'all located? Caution, learning in progress. I love that. How do you recommend joining copper to PVC when replacing leaking copper on a drain line? Leaking copper on a drain line. I would, number one, want to see it to see what kind of a tie-in where you're talking about. Copper to PVC is normally done with adapters, either a trap adapter, a male to female adapter, where one end's male, the other end's female. You screw them together. So there's a lot of different ways to look at it. That's normally about the only way. I know people use those little hose clamp type deals. Not real big on it, but hey, sometimes it works. With Chris Carr, how are you? Welcome back. What does copper rust building up amount to? I live in the Midwest with heavy mineral content in the water. Is it something I should be concerned about? Where's it building up at? And what I mean by that is flushing your water heater is a big deal because it's going to make it more efficient. It's going to make it last longer. But you shouldn't be getting a rust buildup really in the water lines. If you've got hard water, you get calcium and magnesium that build up. They're going to slowly clog up cartridges, shower heads, faucets, aerators, anything at all. There's a lot of things they can mess up, but a water filtration system will keep out chemicals, and an anti-scale device helps keep out the hardness. So a lot of different ways to look at. Jacob Rose just started school a few months ago for plumbing, and your videos has helped me a ton. Thank you. Jacob, I appreciate that. I ask if you like them, you tell 4,000 of your closest friends. Tell them they have to subscribe and become members and, come hang out every Monday night. Thank you. I do appreciate it. With Chris Carr says, if you have an old house and occasionally have a sulfur smell from the water, is that something to worry about? Normally, if the city treats the water, it's the chlorine smell you get. Normally not sulfur. Sulfur is normally just something funky in a water heater. And you can go online and Google how to get that sulfur smell out of your water heater. I've had people talk about pouring bleach in there, leaving it overnight, and then flushing the heck out of it. Make sure that you look at it and see what all you can do. Jacob Barger says, I do HVAC and love it, but I can't stop watching your videos. See, you realize you made a mistake. I mean, Look, to become an HVAC technician is good, but plumbers, I mean, I was too cute to be an HVAC or an electrician. They wouldn't let me. Look, man, here's the deal. It takes us all. It takes plumbers, electricians. It takes HVAC techs and roofers and drywall people. It takes all of us to build the world. And we've all got a role to fill. Here's what I'll tell you. If you're already an HVAC tech, become a plumber and electrician too. Then when it comes time to open your own company, you can do it all. And I'm a plumber. I'm also an HVAC technician, certified here in Texas. So I've got my license. I don't have my TACLA, but I'm a certified technician. I wish I was an electrician, a plumber, and an HVAC tech. Man, that is a knowledge base that is phenomenal. Yowzy says, seen people hammer on rusty clean out plugs that are threaded, and I'm wondering, is that normal to just bust them open with a hammer and chisel instead of trying to monkey it open? Man, you can try. Normally, them puppies that have been in there that long, they're in there for good. I've seen people put WD-40 on them, come back. I used to have a 4-foot pipe wrench up here I could get on them with, but I mean, I've actually twisted the cast iron hub or the brass hub in the cast iron. So there's a lot of different things you can do. Sometimes just busting it out and putting in a PVC one is a lot faster, so therefore it's a lot less expensive. Mr. Dorset 69 says, if you had to change careers, what would you choose and why? Man, I would, I'm going to be real nice here. I would probably be a movie star, professional athlete, one or the other. I say that, but I wouldn't want to be Dak right now. Man, his leg is hurting. Vladimir says, what is your material of choice for residential freshwater supply? It's funny, Vladimir, I had that conversation today. It's either copper or Uponor, the expandable PEX. I think Uponor is probably going to be the what we end up all using. Buttercup, how are we doing? I just replaced my grandmother's potable water with black iron. She says it tastes funny now, but I wash my hands of it now. Here's the deal, and here's something you can do. And I want to try to figure out how to tell you how to do it. You can induce bleach into the system, tell her not to use it, let it sit overnight, and then go in and flush everything out. And I know that because they do that on commercial jobs, that they go in and literally chlorinate the system, bleach it, clean it out. So it can be done. Just be very careful and make sure she doesn't drink any of it if you do get some in the system to clean it out. Evan McCardle says, is there a PSI standard for water pipes that are coming from the city, or is it different per location? Evan, it is different. Home inspectors will tell you, if it's under 40, it's horrible. If it's over 80, it's horrible. Normally, most of the houses that I go work on are around 100 PSI, sometimes less, sometimes more, but normally that's it. It comes different from the city because, remember, they're trying to push it further and further and further out. Kind of like the same thing on electricity. The 110 may be really 115 or 120 because they're having to amp it up to get more out to people. PA Outdoors says, ever had problems with inspectors? And I really haven't, but I'm really good at putting things in by code. I don't try to take shortcuts. I don't try to cheat things. I want to make sure that when I'm putting it in, I'm doing it right. And, man, I really think that that's a big deal, and that's probably part of why I don't have a lot of problems with them. Lazarize says, okay, managed to think something up. Are water heaters only common around the United States? I live in South America, and I've never seen one in any house you've ever been in. Wow. So let me ask you this. When you take a shower, is it just tepid water? Is it just whatever temperature it comes from the city? There's no way to heat the water for your shower? That one's kind of different. I kind of thought they had water heaters everywhere.
I'll keep an eye and see if they respond.
Do what?
Said I'll keep an eye and
Cool.
see if they respond.
Sam Williams says, just became an apprentice for first week of work. My master plumber is verbally abusive and makes me and the other guy feel stupid for asking questions or having issues. Advice on how to proceed. Yeah, number one, is it his company? If not, you might go to the owner and say, hey, man, look, I really want to work here, but look, I didn't just sign up to get screamed and yelled at for asking questions to learn. Now, you may try that. You may try talking to the master plumber and say, man, look, we're just trying to learn. Is there any reason that you scream and yell at us? And ask. He might just be an old grumpy fart. I know that there's days I get grumpy. And sometimes you got to worry about that. But, at the end of the day, we're all trying to do better and we're trying to learn. But, yeah, it's not a thing that anybody wants to be in where it's like that every single day. Kevin Chino says, any tip for a 3-year apprentice on service calls? If you're a 3-year apprentice going by yourself, yeah. Here in Texas, you can get your tradesman license. Not sure about what it is that if it's you by yourself at 3 years, in Texas, we've got a tradesman. They can go out and do it. If you're going out by yourself as an apprentice and you're not licensed or could get in trouble, yeah, be very careful. If you can do things wrong and possibly get yourself in trouble or someone else.
This was actually a super chat.
Mr. Barrett Stolzman, thank you very much for the super chat. Used to install residential irrigation systems and found when the anti-siphon valve would shut off, in some houses it would cause a water hammer. Something I could have done to alleviate that. When the anti-siphon valves, when your backflow preventer shuts off, that's going to be just like a hard stop valve. It shouldn't be quite that much, but I guess it could be. And I guess that makes sense because the solenoid valves on the irrigation system would slam off quick. Will you block Julie, kick her out of here? Grumpy Roger, angry Roger.
I think she's a higher up rated moderator.
I know. That's pretty bad, isn't it? That's funny. So, here's the thing. I don't know if there's really anything you could have done to alleviate that. Maybe change a solenoid valve to a softer close. And I don't know that you could really put a shock arrestor on an irrigation system. I've never seen that done. But I guess if it's hammering water inside the house, that could be a possibility.
This is the person from South
There
America.
You go. Lazarus says, basically the shower head itself does the heating. We use electric showers. Okay, I'm interested in that. It sounds crazy to me. So here's the deal over here, just so you know. We literally have a tank or a tankless water heater, and then you have control valves. You've got cold water in a shower and hot water, so you can adjust it. And I saw that Vladimir put in most of the households in Russia have hot and cold water supply from the city. So, man, that's different.
I'm curious to see how they insulate pipe.
How they insulate it in the distribution and the meters. How do you meter it? Do you meter it separate? Does hot water cost more because it takes some money to make it? Kind of interesting. The official Salrec says, live in Fort Worth. Any electricians you recommend? Man, not in Fort Worth. God, I'd have to think about that. I don't know that I really know any over in Fort Worth. We're actually looking at wanting to expand our plumbing company to Fort Worth. Then we're eventually wanting to go to Austin, San Antonio, and Houston. But, man, electricians, I can't help you out much. Jibby John says, Roger Wakefield, I have two 40-gallon water heaters for a 3,400 square foot home. Thinking about going tankless, but don't mind sticking with tanks. We have hard water, so should I stick to tank versus tankless? Jibby John, here's one thing I'll tell you is the tankless water heaters a lot of time require a lot of extra work, meaning a bigger gas line, bigger electrical lines, a possible vent change. There can be a lot of different things that have to be done. But what I will tell you is if you have a plumber come out and look at it and it looks like you've got a good way for an installation there, it could definitely, I mean, I can see the benefits, but I mean, 2 40-gallon water heaters, you should be getting all the water you need. Have you thought about going to maybe 150-gallon? I'm not sure how the pipe is or how the house is piped, so don't know that I can answer that. But, man, I'd look at all the opportunities, that's for sure. Nick M says it's a resistant coil heater in the shower head. Man, that is a trip. So I guess you have to have an electrical outlet by your shower head, since that plugs in and does it that way. And yeah, somebody in here put earlier that scares the heck out of me. Yeah, and Alexander says I need to look into that out of curiosity. I agree. I think that's kind of interesting. And Vladimir says they have 2 water meters in Russia, and I'm assuming the hot water costs more since it costs them money to heat it.
We have about 5 minutes left. How many more you want to do?
You bet. I'm keeping it. Yeah, we'll just keep going the way we are.
Okay.
Yeah, guys, do me a favor. Don't put in any more questions just because I know we're not going to get through all of them. If you haven't done it yet, man, please give us a thumbs up. Let YouTube know that you like what we're doing. Make sure you check out Teespring to see. And the mask that we did with my face is hilarious. We got a couple of more we're working on. If you haven't gone over and checked out the Trade Talks yet, go do. If you hadn't subscribed to the Trade Talks YouTube channel, man, go check it out. Subscribe. We're fixing to start putting some videos up over there talking about all the trades. And Michaela, you may really like that because we are literally going to have people come in and write articles and talk about being a female in the trades, why it's good, and possibly even moving up into owning their own company and things like that. Joseph Peterson says, can PVC used for water softeners? Yes. All the piping for water softeners and filtration systems can be PVC. They don't have to be. About the only thing you can't use PVC for in a water system is hot water. It's not made for it. That's where we want to go to CPVC because it is made for operating at a higher temperature. So very good question there, Joseph. Nick M said, thanks, Roger and his team, for being the best of the best. Man, we try. One thing that we work on here is how to constantly get better, continuous improvement, and we work on it all the time. And Paul Peck says, be sure to hit that like button and you won't get flushed. I love it. Amanda Santini, welcome. Glad to have you here. Over 200 million people use electrical showers here in Brazil. There's literally no problem with them. Check out Electro Boom's video on it. I will leave it up for just a second. I want to take a picture of that to make sure that I don't always
Good, because that's the last one.
Go back through and see it. That's perfect then.
I mean, other people weren't here just saying like thanks and things like that. But yeah, that's the last question.
And guys, here's the deal. Thank y'all very much. I love the fact that, okay, so 50 cents for cold water, or I guess that's 50 rubles, and 191.7 for hot. Big difference for Moscow. Yeah, I would, here's the deal. I would love to come over there and see construction, how it's done, how y'all do things compared to how we do things. And man, Paul Peck hit it right there. You know, if y'all like what we're doing, give us a thumbs up, hit the like button. If you hadn't done it yet, please subscribe. Please ring the bell. You'll get notified to know what we're doing and why we're doing it. We have been doing this for 2.5 years now, and we started memberships today. God, I think we already got 4 or 5. That's actually pretty cool. And what it is like next week or the week after, whenever we have enough members to really make it work, the members will get to come in an hour early and start asking questions. They get the cool little emojis by their name, and man, I think that is so neat. Will did a great job. And we're also every now and then we're going to do like just a members only Q&A where we just open it up for members only. They can jump in. I've got to learn more about it, and make sure that we're doing it right, figure out how to do it. That way just members get invited. But, you know, the merch, stuff like that, if you see anything in there you like, let us know. If there's something that we're not doing, we just got another one. Random Fast Reader, AKC MCFC. Man, welcome. Good to have you here. If you like our merch, if there's something that you want, it's like, man, Roger, it would be so cool. We're still working on some things, but it's always nice to get feedback from people. Also, the Trade Talks. If you hadn't been over to www.thetradetalks.com, check that out. That will get you into the magazine. And if you hadn't done it yet, go over to our new YouTube channel at The Trade Talks on YouTube. And the last thing is, man, the memberships. I am so glad that y'all got in. You liked it. The badges, the emojis, and all that. It really does. It makes it cool. I want to say a special thanks to Paul Peck, Drywall Tube, Barrick Stolzman. Thank you very much for joining. Paul Peck, Drywall Tube. Man, Paul Peck, you're a great guy. Love having you around. It is really, really nice. Yeah. Vladimir's going to sleep. It's 1:30 a.m. in Moscow.
And Barrett Stolzman just became a member too.
Barrett Stolzman, welcome to the, I see that now. It just popped up. Thank you so much. You know, Paul Peck, thank you for being in here as a moderator. You're great. I love it. Neil, the Urban Explorer, I think you're out already. Great having you in here. Julie, Amber, Grayson, and Will, and y'all make it all happen. And you make it all kind of happen very smooth, and that's a neat thing. So anyway, guys, thank you all for being here. I really do appreciate it. Love having everybody in today. Great conversations. A lot of great people jumping in and doing things. So the neat thing is, man, I love having y'all here. Thank you. We will be doing this again next week. If you're not connected with me on LinkedIn, look for Roger Wakefield. And like I said, if you hadn't gone over and checked out the Trade Talks magazine, go to www.thetradetalks.com. And please, when you get off here, check out our other YouTube channel, The Trade Talks. Got videos coming there soon. And if you hadn't joined Juliet, Miranda, and Paul Peck, subscribe to their channel. Check them out. Great people. Anyway, guys, thoroughly enjoyed it. I will see y'all again here next week. Have a wonderful day and keep on plumbing. I'm Roger Wakefield, Lead AP, the expert plumber. I'll see you in the next video if you don't get flushed.